Hello everybody, welcome back. We're here to play level 48 in this game called Green. It's a nice game. The level 48 confused me to buggery. I could not figure it out even though it was explained to me a couple of times. We're here to run through that level and explain it to anybody that was as confused as I was. So let's hop right into it. We have a blank screen and then comes the intro. We skip that intro and go straight into 48. All right, now in 48, these squares, you just got to match them up. Now, we can easily do it by just, randomly clicking around until we find them properly. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to understand why it happens the way it does. So this square here, what really confused me is that these squares do not point to each other. They point to arbitrary squares somewhere on this grid. So that one is pointing 3 squares down, 1, 2, 3, and we're trying to find some square that points to the same location. This guy right here points 2 squares down and 1 to the left. So they are a match. So let's say that one there, 2 squares down and 1 to the left. Got to find the square that points to the same location. So you just count with your fingers, 1, 2, and 1 to the left. 2 squares and 1 down. That guy right there, boom. So this guy here, 2 squares down again and 1 to the left. And so you measure from the location of that square, obviously. Even though those 2 squares on the top right corner have the same arrows, because they're in different locations, are pointing to a different location on the grid. So 2 squares down, 1, 2, and 1 to the left. Got to find a square that points to there. 2 squares and 1 up. This looks like a match. Excellent, boom. You'd think I would have solved it before I started this video, but there you go. 3 squares all the way to the very edge. 2 squares up and 1 across. Bang. So just finishing it off. Let's say that one right there, 2 squares up and 1 to the left. We go 1, 2 there, and we just got to find out of those 3 squares. Looks like it's this one. 1, 2, 3, and 2 up. And 2 up. Bang. And of course, whammo. We're through. Now, just for the giggles, let's go through these as well. It's just like you got to trace the wire, and the right square and the left square, they just turn you left and right. So if we start here, we turn right, 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 right. The opposite. Oh boy. Can't get it wrong because that would look ridiculous. So yeah, how about them riots? This map level, you're just basically pointing whether you want the ball to go, and the ball chews up the white squares and you're left with only green. So you just, it's a programming game. You just make the arrows point in the direction you want. Boom. I just don't know if I need to go into a shopping center with a mask or a brick these days. But I heard about the CHAZ city or independent country. Should they... I don't understand what they want by making an independent province. Do they want to change American laws, or do they want to be independent from America? It just... Sure, okay, you want to change the barbaric nature of the police. Let's go with that for a moment, whether you agree with it or not. So you want to be part of the country to change it. I would totally get if they were holding that city hostage, but they want to be independent of that city. So, does that make sense to anybody else, or is it just me? We can all guess that that's going to end really well. That's going to end really well with absolutely no violence. Now, I'm sure while I've been talking, I made a mistake, so I'm just going to trace who cares? Let's go with the ball now. Boom. So now we're starting. So all this, you just tap on the ball to make it move, is pretty straightforward. I got to say, it's actually a bit of a disappointing last map, because even though, okay, there's a bit of figuring out how to do it, but what to do is really straightforward. Typically all the other games, all the other colors in this series The last map has always been a really tough one that you really got to struggle a bit. And anyway, Bob's your uncle, and that's green. Thank you very much, everybody. This app is congratulating me. You've completed green. We did it together. Thanks for playing. Till next time.